Donald Trump's dictatorship has officially started. To be fair, it started a long time ago, just kind of a slow rollout. This is just another day. Today, Donald Trump reminded us how grateful all of us should be that he is in charge.
No, we have a very safe city now. The country's going to be safe. We're doing one at a time, and we'll be going to Chicago. If you look at what's happened in Washington, D.C. right now, it is such a place. I just drove through it, and it's clean and nice and beautiful, and people are walking around, and they're not afraid of being mugged. We haven't had murders. We haven't had anything happen in a long time. It took us 12 days to make it very good. It took us 20 days to make it beautiful. And now we're going to Memphis. But I think we should always keep a presence here, because if we don't keep a presence, it's going to come back.
Yep, nothing to see here. Just the sitting president of the United States saying that he's going to militarize our cities to protect us from ourselves. You know, like how Matt Gaetz hangs around underage women to make sure that nobody else causes them any harm. But these statements from Trump were merely a part of the Late Show on his dictator tour, because earlier in the day, Trump spoke at a completely necessary meeting with the military's top brass at Quantico.
I've never walked into a room so silent before. This is very... Don't laugh. Don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that. You know what? Just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank, there goes your future.
Ha ha ha! It's funny because they think he's kidding. See, that joke had slightly less humor to it when he said it hours earlier just outside the White House.
I'm going to be meeting with generals and with admirals and with leaders. And if I don't like somebody, I'm going to fire him right on the spot.
Yeah, you see, it's hard to hear the laughs over the propellers of Marine One, but also because the laughs are, not there. But no matter, if you like that hilarious bit from our president, there is plenty more yucks where that came from on Trump's newest comedy album, Agree With Me or You're Fired, and other actual threats to military leadership. While it may seem like Trump has an adversarial relationship with everyone, including the members of the military, it turns out he was actually looking forward to this speech today, and that hasn't always been the case.
And I used to say, boy, I'm speaking in front of the military today, and it's embarrassing because I'm speaking in front of people who have a job that other people don't want, but now you have a job that everybody wants.
Oh, that's why you found it embarrassing to speak in front of the military? Here I was thinking that's because you never served and just dodged the draft by getting a podiatrist friend of your father's to diagnose you with bone spurs. Or maybe because, at a cemetery for fallen soldiers, you referred to them as suckers and losers. Or maybe because you talked about one of our nation's war heroes like this.
He's not a war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
You know, seeing it again after all these years, it actually sounds just as offensive. Now, we'll get back to Trump in just a moment, but the real brains behind this brainless gathering of military officials today was Pete Hegseth, Trump's Secretary of Defense, and very likely a member of the original Cobra Kai. Hegseth called this meeting because he felt it was totally worth spending millions of dollars to summon admirals and generals from around the globe so they could hear his highly important remarks.
No more beards, long hair, superficial individual expression. We're going to cut our hair, shave our beards, and adhere to standards. Because it's like the broken windows theory of policing. It's like when you let the small stuff go, the big stuff eventually goes. So you have to address the small stuff.
Exactly. You can't let the small stuff go. I mean, first it's a little stubble, then it's a goatee. Next thing you know, people start thinking it's okay for your leadership to brush aside allegations of alcohol abuse and sexual assault. But Hegseth wasn't just there to tell career military officials what their faces should look like. No, he also told them what their bodies should look like, too.
It all starts with physical fitness and appearance. If the Secretary of War can do regular, hard PT, so can every member of our joint force. Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are.
Exactly. That's not who we are. Our leaders are fit because they understand that cues are taken from the top and examples must be set. If you don't have a healthy body, you can't have a healthy mind. Yup, thank God our leaders know that. But back to our headliner and the man people were forced to be clamoring to hear from. Since many in the room had traveled from all over the globe to get there, Donald Trump felt it was only appropriate to be completely honest with them about their military equipment.
And I'm not a fan of some of the ships you do. I'm a very aesthetic person, and I don't like some of the ships you're doing aesthetically. They say, oh, it's stealth. I said, that's not stealth. An ugly ship is not necessary in order to say you're stealth.
That's right. Something's not required to be ugly to be certified as stealth. Just like because Stephen Miller looks like a rotting carcass that haunts me when I sleep, that doesn't make him stealth. Although, boy, I wish it did. Now, the reason for that earlier muted reaction from military officials when Trump took the stage is because, unlike Trump himself, they respect American values and the idea of a nonpartisan military, one that protects all of our citizens equally, a point that the commander-in-chief holds dearly and agreed with vociferously. No, wait, the pages are stuck together here. Yeah, Trump didn't agree with that at all.
What they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. We're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms.
I mean, sure, Trump is happy to make do by taking out anyone wearing these uniforms, but it'd really be easier for him if the American citizens he was targeting could agree on one thing to wear. The reality is, everyone keeps waiting for the moment where we officially get to declare Trump's presidency a dictatorship, as though there's going to be a countdown in Times Square with everyone wearing these glasses. But the fact is, we've already had plenty of moments before Trump dubbed citizens who disagree with him as enemy combatants. You know, like deploying the U.S. military to American cities like Portland, Chicago, or Los Angeles, the firing of U.S. attorneys who failed to enact his political agenda by engaging in vindictive prosecutions, ordering his Justice Department to arrest judges, mayors, members of Congress, and senators who refuse to do his bidding, banning members of the media who don't provide him with glowing coverage, meddling in our free and fair elections by trying to end mail-in voting, which is used by 30% of Americans, his attempt to undo the 14th Amendment, which would put an end to birthright citizenship, which is in the Constitution. All of these are textbook dictator moves, but thanks to an overwhelming amount of them, we have become desensitized to them all. No longer are we affected by the insane actions and ramblings of Donald Trump and his sycophantic administration. Now everything just feels par for the course, and that is their plan. It's not an accident that every speech, every conference, every tweet is pretty much a regurgitation of the one prior. It is a tactic meant to normalize a type of behavior that is not normal. See, if Donald Trump's presidency was one filled with standard governance and civility, then tweeting out a racist deepfake video of congressional Democrats as a way of pushing his political rivals would beget a national outcry. But instead, a video sent by the President of the United States, which if posted by your high school science teacher would likely cost them their job, is met with nothing more than a shoulder shrug. Trump isn't on the cusp of or heading towards being a dictator, he is one. And every time he makes one of his dictatorial moves, he must be held accountable. Because as someone once said,
you let the small stuff go, the big stuff eventually goes.
Exactly.